Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory. Salaki, start over. Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Hashem Dash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. I just wanted to go into a quick lesson, going into the reunion, the reuniting of Yahweh Shai and the first fruit, starting with the 144,000, and how much of a joyous time that would be, and just my thoughts on it, which I'm gonna read scriptures, but I'm gonna go into just kind of go into my thought about it, because as the scriptures talk about the 140, the elect, and with 144,000 being crowned, the elect being saved and being in them chariots. And I was just thinking about the crowning ceremony, brothers, all the brothers reunited, the first fruits, the 144,000 all being reunited, and brothers being crowned in front of the whole congregation of the elect, by Yahweh Shai being crowned. Like that's gonna be the best feeling in the world, and the best time, the best, the most, like that's, I guess you could say that's gonna be the most emotional time for our nation, well, for the elect of our nation, because something that was established from the very beginning is now being reestablished, and something that was connected from the very beginning and has been disconnected. Well, I ain't gonna say disconnected, but we've been striving to get back to that point. It's finally gonna happen. Like, you know how long that's been, how long ago that's been since we've been with Yahweh, with Yahweh Shah, and actually in the midst of Yahweh Shah, especially the 144,000 just being directly connected to Yahweh Shah. So it's it's a different feeling, It's emotional, it's a joyous emotion though, not sad. So I'm gonna get 2nd Esdras 2:38. Arise up and stand. Behold, the number of those that be sealed in the feast of the Lord, which are departed from the shadow of the world, and have received glorious garments of the Lord. Take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord. Right, which is going into the elect, started with the 144,000. And this is all going into the deliverance of the elect and the crowning ceremony of the elect. The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed. Right, so he said the number of the children has been fulfilled. So going into the elect, the bride have made herself ready. All those who are delivered, who are destined to be saved, that's of the elect. It said the number of them are fulfilled. They're ready. They're finally ready. Verse 42. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount of Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua with songs. Right, and this is going into the very elect, and he saw the whole congregation of the elect, like the entire multitude, and he saw himself. Essentially he saw himself. He don't know who he was, but essentially he saw himself, and the fact that he was there in the spirit, in the vision, was also an indication that he gonna be there, But it said that he saw the number, he couldn't number it, and he saw the 144,000 as well, because he saw the whole crowning ceremony. He saw them getting their crowns. Verse 43, and in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon each one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So he saw Yahweh Shah crowning 144,000. And that's the point I wanted to harp on. The crowning ceremony of the elect, the 144,000. That's going to be a joyous time because we don't know how it's going to be or how it's going to set up. We won't know until we get there. But you can just kind of imagine like the 144,000 and like in a separate area, not a separate area, but like they're in one portion, the rest of the congregation in another portion just watching, watching the ceremony. And each brother is being called up by Yahweh Shai, and he's giving a speech about the brother, telling about the brother, his past lives, what he has done for the ministry, what he endured, how he had to diligently fight, spiritually fight and walk, and everything that he had done for the ministry. One second. It's like, Yahweh Shai just basically going into, just telling the story of the brother's life and all his lives, giving some of the highlights of his lives, especially the one we currently live in, And after that, after he crowned that brother, and after he, whatever, however else it may go, another brother come up. Yahweh Shai do this until all 144,000 are crowned. But that's gonna be a joyous time. You know, that's gonna be something. That's something to behold. And each brother, we all gonna be, Lord willing, with that number of the elect. You're gonna be emotional, man. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be far out, man. It's far out of this world. We being crowned by Yahweh Shai himself, and he's telling your story, the story of all your lifetimes, what you went through, what you had to endure, how you diligently fought for this truth. Even unto death, especially if you're one of the brothers that had to die for it. In this current lifetime we live in. And Yahweh Shai is just telling your story in front of everybody. And your story is going to be written. Well, it's already being written. For others to read in the future. For others to know in the future. To know your story. Like, you can't even imagine it. You can't even imagine it. Your children, they're going to know your story. Of how you got to the position that you in. They're going to hear stories about the crowning ceremony. Verse 44. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. Now are they crowned and receive palms. So they are crowned and receive their reward. That's what I forgot to say. And Yahweh Shai, on top of telling your story, he say what you gonna receive. Just like with the parable with the talents. He said, look, you was diligent in handling these small matters. Now I'm finna put you over much more matters. 1 second. And those responsibilities come with perks. Perks outside of what the rest of the nation will be able to do. As each brother is gonna be on a different level. But we all gonna have part in Yahweh Shai's kingdom. Yahweh Shai's gonna be managing the whole earth, managing all the affairs of the universe. And he's gonna have each brother managing different affairs, different parts of his kingdom. And Yahweh Shai tell you your portion. So they're gonna receive crowns and they're gonna receive their just reward. Then said I to the angel, What young person is it that crowned them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he confessed and said, Unto me it is the Son of the Most High, Yahweh Shai, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, because Ezra found out, learned, especially later on in these chapters, what all the elect gonna have to go through in order to get to this point. But It said, then the angel said unto me, go thy way and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Lord thy God thou hast seen. Right? So the Lord gave Ezra a kind of a vision of what was to come. And I had another scripture, but now I can't even remember it. Oh, this is Matthew chapter 26. I'm gonna just start at 27, get straight to the point. Well, I started 26. It says, and as they were eating, Yahweh took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the new covenant of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until the day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. So Yahweh Shai said, you're not even gonna drink no wine. You're not gonna do no type of celebrating, partying, or enjoyment of the kingdom that he now has until all his brothers are there. So Yahweh Shai is patiently waiting on this that time period too. You know, it's gonna be joyous for him just as much as it's joyous for us, because it's a reunion of his first fruits of his brothers that was with him from the beginning. You know, and the relationship and the dynamic that Yahweh Shai had with each of the 144,000, he still remembers that. You know, in exact details. Now we might not, Lord willing, of that number, but we might not remember how detailed our relationship was, but we know that we was with Yahweh Shai in the beginning, and we gon' have a reunion, and all things are gonna be we gonna be back. We gonna have that remembrance back unto us. We're gonna remember the former state for which we failed. We're gonna remember We're gonna remember everything. We're gonna remember the beginning. Lock it. That time period is coming. That's how it's gonna be. We're gonna remember everything, and we're gonna be reunited. So again, we're gonna be reunited with Yahweh Shai, and He's gonna be reunited with us. And He's patiently waiting on this period too, just like we are. And it's close. It's extremely close. You know. So I just want to go into that, just kind of share my thoughts on that, especially the ceremony. That's just, how my mind plays it out. And I had thought about this yesterday when I was around the brothers and we were just talking, and this came to my mind. But Lord willing, it was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to all the brothers out there pushing His word in sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children that they're keeping His word in sincerity and the truth. And until next time, Shalom.